First, you want to start with like any primer that you have for your face. I use this one, Smashbox Photo Finish. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Then you want to go in with your foundation. I use my concealer as my foundation because I'm cheap. So yeah, you don't really have to get concealer, foundation, and a cream this, cream that. Really, you can do everything with powders and honestly, eyeshadows if you're really trying to save money. And you want to take your beauty blender and blend it out. I also like to get it on the eyes. If you have an eyeshadow primer, you can use that. Like I know a lot of people have that Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. If you want to use that, look up. But I find that concealer is, does the same thing. Drag it down into your neck, but don't drag it down too far because a lot of times we have our costumes here and you don't want to get tan crap all over your costume. After that, you can go ahead and you can get any like setting powder that you have. I use the NYX HD, I think it's like HD Ultra Setting Powder. I didn't bring it, so. Yeah, the Fit Me powder in Walgreens is also very cheap. That's what I use. I know a lot of people, the expensive brand was like Laura Mercier. Yeah. So it's the powder that you see all of the beauty people on YouTube using. I'll go ahead and start contouring, right? So I'm using the Anastasia contour kit. As you can see, it's very old. It's like 3 years old. So use any contour kit that you can get. The trick is when you're applying it, right? The brush you want to use to contour should be a little bit small. Like I use this small dome brush, right? It's not too thick. It's small enough so when I grab it and I apply, right, I can squeeze the edge and it kind of creates like this flat brush. And so I'll take that. The lighter you are, the lighter the contour you need, right? So you don't want to be light and then using like this super dark one over here because it's going to look like you have dirt on your face. Yeah. And then of course you can use the back of the brush, your finger, wherever you want to find it. She even has it in this natural lighting if you see it right there. Yeah. Go ahead and squeeze the brush just like that. And then go along that line. Very lightly. So the lighter the better, right? You want to take that same contour, you want to go in the forehead. You got some big foreheads, and then they get even bigger and shinier when that stage light is like, pow. When you want to do your jawline, don't take this powder down because then you're going to have a super brown neck. Yeah. You just want it to be right where that shadow is, yeah? I honestly wipe the excess off here so they can't even see that. Blend. When you're doing the contour on your nose, use a smaller brush, okay? Don't try to go and contour your nose with this thing, okay? Because then your nose is just going to be brown. This is the same brush that we're going to use for the eyeshadow, yeah? And I'm going to use it on her nose. I'm going to go in with that same color just on the very tip of the brush, right? I don't know if you see the brown, just on the tip. Don't get it on the sides here, right? Because then that can also get down here and then you have a huge nose. Really lightly follow in right here where that bone is, right? You want to draw a line from there down. Very skinny line. The thicker you go, the bigger the nose. All right, perfect. So if you see those two lines down her nose.
Check that nose job.
Nice and skinny. Then go ahead and load up that brush and get right underneath that nose right here. Boom. Lift that nose. Hello. $100,000 surgery right here. Blend. Now, if you want to go more in depth with like the contouring, I would suggest watching YouTube videos of girls contouring and try to find girls your skin color, right? So then you can see the products that they use and what you think would really work well. So for blush, I found this blush by the company number 7, yeah, called Plum Velvet, okay? So you only need a little bit of it, okay? I do 2 dabs, right? And I have to tap it. That's how like intense this product is, right? So when you want to do blush, you kind of want to follow that same line that you did for the contour, but you want to go like right above it, yeah? So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to my brush. I squeeze it, yeah. And I spine that line that I made and I go right on top of it. Okay, then I open up my brush and I start kind of spreading it out, tapping it in place. Don't be scared if it looks heavy at first, right? Because again, we're gonna blend all of this out. When I get to more like the apples of the cheeks, that's when I open up the brush, right? When I'm closer to the cheekbone, I narrow it like that, right? So that way I can stay along the line of the contour. Once you have your blush on, you can blend that out. Highlighter, okay? You can use whatever brush you want to highlight. I like to use something more concentrated, like an eyeshadow brush. Try to like get in the light. If you can see how the light hits her face right here, right? See how it's nice and shiny in this area? You want to take that brush and you want to put that highlight right there. Okay, take that same highlighter, narrow, and go right down the center of the nose. You can use your finger too if you feel more comfortable with that. It's all the same. If highlight's too heavy, just take your brush and go whoop. And it should look great. Eyebrows. You don't need to go get an eyebrow pencil for $20. You can use eyeshadow, yeah? So I just find an eyeshadow that's pretty close to the brow color and I just load that brush up and I do the brows. Boom, eyebrows that you can see in 2 seconds. All right, if you have a lot of eyebrow hairs, right, that kind of go everywhere, go ahead and try to find a brow gel. If you don't want to spend money on a brow gel, use your hairspray. It's the same stuff, yeah? So if I didn't have brow gel, I would take an applicator that looks like this, right? Sometimes they sell these, or they even have them to, you know, disposable ones. Yeah, disposable ones that you can actually go to Ulta and they have these for testers. Just take some out of the testers, right? Load it up with hairspray and then just go ahead and brush through the hairs. This will also blend out the shadow that you just put on there and make it look a little bit more natural. If you make any messes with eyebrows, just take your thumb, slide along the edge. See how there's some that just went out here, right? I would take that and just brush it off. Boom, bam, bop. Hello, eyebrows. So for eyeshadow, you got the palette last year, which was like the Morphe 350 palette. That palette will work, okay? But we have a lot of skin tones like on our team, okay? So all you need to do is find a dark brown that's dark enough on your skin that you can see, like a medium brown, and a very light base, okay? So right now I'm using the Tartist Pro palette, okay? These are one of the more expensive palettes, but you can find, Revlon has a palette if you go to Ulta, and they're only $7, and they have these colors, okay? So this is what I'm talking about, right? So when you look at this palette comes with 2 light colors. This is like almost white. So my lighter girls, that is the white you'd be using. My darker girls, this is more of like a yellow. Yeah, so you want to use that yellow if you're a little bit darker. And then for my browns, right? So this is my dark brown. This is my light brown. Find the eyeshadow palette that works for you. That's in your, you know, that's going to work for your budget as well. Because dance is already super expensive. You know, we're not trying to have you spend $50 on a palette that you don't even, you know what I'm saying? Keep it cheap up in here. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my finger, okay? I like to use my finger because I can be really, really precise with my finger. For her skin tone, she's a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go in with that really, really light color so it shows up, okay? So I put my finger in it just like that. She's going to close her eyes, right? Moms, when you're applying eyeshadow, don't grab their eyebrow and lift, right? So that way, you know, you have more room to work with. And just pat it in there. All right, so look, get close to the camera. As you can see, we have ghost eyelids, yeah? And it doesn't have to be pretty, okay? It's just right here, right? So when you're done with the look, this is gonna be where that concentrated white is, right? Going with that same brush that I used to contour the nose. It's like the smaller brush, right? It's kind of thin, yeah, but it can hold a lot of product. You wanna go in with your light brown. Okay, so I'm going to be using this light brown, yeah? You want to draw like a dome shape. Use a light hand. Do not go in here, right, and press super, super hard, right, and try to draw a line because, look, see how thick it got? Oh, my God. We can't be doing that. It's just like when you were drawing the lines on the nose. You have to have a really, really light hand. After you apply the eyeshadow to the brush, tap that, okay? Open your eye. You want to bring in this brown to the end of your iris, right, where that color is stops. Yeah, so if you're looking straight forward, see how my iris stops right here? My brown stops right there, right in line with that. Once we have that line, go ahead and take the darker brown, right? So for this palette, I'm using this darker brown. Load up that brush like that, tap it, okay? And now you want to go ahead and take that brown and put it in the edge on the very, very last part of your eye, right here, okay? Okay, boom, nice and easy. Take a blending brush for eyeshadow, nice and fluffy. This is the Morphe M441. I'm pretty sure this brush is like $7. You don't need to spend $7 on a brush, okay? Go to Five Below. They have some brushes there and they come with like a set and they're $5, so get that, okay? Go back into your light brown, okay? So I just loaded up her eye with dark brown. I'm gonna go back in with my light brown, okay? I'm going to tap it a lot, okay? All right, I'm gonna start on this dark brown that I just put on her eye, okay? And I'm gonna start patting it and blending it, okay? You almost wanna take that dark brown and start moving it up into the crease. I'm totally covering it. When you do this step, there might be some brown fallout on the white that you put on your lid, and that's okay. You can go back in and, you know, reapply that lighter color. All right, so now we've got a really, really smooth, you know, brown. We have two tones of brown, right? It's kind of dark and light, and when we zoom in, right, it looks nice and blended, yeah? Perfect. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side really fast. Blending brush loaded up with light brown. Tap a lot, and then go in and start blending. You want to pull that brown, so you don't want to blend too much out, because the more out you go, it's going to bring it closer and closer to your eyebrow. You want to blend in towards the lid. So I don't know if you see, I'm trying to drag the color inside. Yeah, I want my brown to appear here on the lid versus out there by the eyebrow. Got our brown on the outside. I don't know if you see here, this fallout that came down here, this is okay, yeah? Take a Q-tip or your finger, right, and kind of clean it up. All right, now that you've done that, you want to go ahead and start with your liquid liner. My girls with thinner eyelids, do not draw one of those like 1960s hippie, you know, super thick liner. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, because that's just going to close your eye. It's just going to make your whole lid look black. And it's like, are you wearing eyeshadow? Yeah, so for her eyes, I'm going to do a little bit of a thinner line, but it's going to be thick enough that you can see it. I don't know if you can see my application as I go in to do it. I never just try to go and draw the straight line. It's a mess, yeah. What I do is I try to use just the tip of the brush and I pat. I'll pat, I'll pat, I'll pat, I'll pat. See how that line, you're able to be a little bit more consistent with it, and then you can wing it out, yeah. So just pat the eyeliner. Okay, when they open their eye and you're gonna do their wing, all right, you wanna find right where this eyebrow ends, and you wanna try to draw a line right from where their lashes end up towards that eyebrow. Just like that, yeah? Once you have that line, you wanna go ahead and do the wing with that patting technique. Do not swipe the eyeliner by that wing, yeah, because it's gonna be a little bit harder to control it. Boom. How she do that?
Hello.
How she do that with the patting technique? Then you're gonna just go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, now you're gonna go in with some white. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Retractable Eyeliner in white or blanc. They have the little French color in there, make it fancy. This is the waterproof one, okay? Waterproof, I'm not gonna lie, when you're taking it off, it can be a little bit hard to take off, but I'm gonna show you guys some makeup wipes later that really work, and they're nice and moist so they can kind of get it off. All right, when you're doing the white, especially on the younger kids, I like to go in, right, and I'll do a little bit here, boop, 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 and I'll stop, and I'll say, okay, blink, because when they start crying, all the work you just did is out the window, okay? So just do like very little, yeah? Very little. Okay, blink, go ahead, blink. Make them blink for like 10 seconds, okay? And then go again, right? Start moving in here. Do, blink, okay. All right, let them blink. Don't cry, and continue doing that. Blink, yeah. As I apply it, yeah, I'm going in the waterline, but I don't know if you guys see my eyelashes, the beginning of my eyelashes where they start on my lower lash line, I'm covering those too, okay? Because we want to make the eye appear larger. Okay, drag this white all the way in here into this inner corner. Don't be scared to get sloppy with this either, because we're going to clean it up with brown. All right, this white, if you look as I just applied it, see I did the inner eye and then I took it up right by her eyeliner, okay? We're gonna use this to brighten the inner corners of our eye, okay? Don't worry, you're gonna blend it out. Don't leave it like that, okay? You can use your beauty blender if you wanna use your beauty blender. I like to use my finger because when I tried using the beauty blender, I have a thick one like this, big butt, right? So I wiped my eyeliner off, so. Go ahead and use your finger, right? And just dab. Right until it's blended, yeah? And you can't really see anymore that it's eyeliner, all right? Now you're gonna go in with your medium colored brown. Do not use the super dark brown. The medium colored brown, okay? Go in and you want to Again, do not try to just go for the straight line. Look how thick that is, right? Tap. Yeah. Tap very lightly. Boop, 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 right? So I can make a consistent line. If you see where I take my white, I take it out here, okay? I don't just stop at my eye. I bring it out a little bit further, okay? Just a little bit further to make our eyes look longer. And then take that brown and go underneath that white to, again, make that eye look longer. The same thing to the other eye. Now that we're all done with that, it's time for lashes, right? The lashes that we're gonna be using are called, they're blowout lashes by Kiss, okay? In Chignon?
What does it say?
Chignon. Yeah, Chigon, yeah. They look very spaced out, right? Kind of like little swords. These are the kinds of eyelashes that they use. Eleni sent us like an Instagram page of this Royal Ballet makeup, and they look like this, right? After you've put on mascara, they're gonna look like that, and from far away, right, they look like the individual lashes, and you're gonna be able to really read them from off stage. I like to, because they're super, super long, I like to cut off the very last wing. Or you can pull it off, whichever. This little one, cut it off. And for honestly the girls who have even smaller eyes than that, take 2 off, all right? That's if you have really, really small eyes. Because we still want the effect, right? We still want to have volume. I do not try to, apply the glue all over the eyelash. What I do, right, I squeeze my glue just like that so there's a little bit out. And then I'll slide the eyelash along that little lump of glue there. That way I can control how much is being put versus being this way and then like half your eyelash glue comes out and then your eyelashes are dripping in glue. Yeah, so do a really, really thin line of glue like that. Blow on it and curl it at the same time, right? So you want to do this motion while you're blowing on it. Take your time with this process, okay? A lot of people make the mistake of just throwing their eyelash on there when it's still very wet with the glue. And what that's gonna do, right, is that's going to, re-moisten that eyeliner that you put up there, and it's gonna start spreading it out, and then you look like you got punched. The shorter lashes go on the inside of the eye, the bigger lashes go on the outside of the eye. When you're applying these, you want to I start applying them like this, right? I try to stick the glue right where my eyelashes, my natural eyelashes are coming out. Don't try to put it on the black liner because naturally the eyelash is already going to move up. So try to get it right where these eyelashes start growing. Okay, sometimes when you do eyelashes, I've heard some people like, my mom glued my eyes shut, okay? As you're putting on the lash, go ahead and, separate their eye just a little bit just to make sure the glue's not there, right? Once that glue is a little bit more dry, you can start pushing the lash up like this, yeah? Just so when it sits naturally, it's up, yeah? Do the same thing to the other side. Again, I'm grabbing this last little hair thing, and I'm pulling it right off. Make your little glue bubble and move the eyelash along the glue so you can control how much is going on. Do not try to just squirt the glue here, right, and hope that it'll work, because it won't. below and curl and take your time.
Another way to put the glue on the eyelash that I do is I put it on my finger, and then I put, since I have a lot of control with my finger, I just run my finger along the eyelash.
Perfect.
And that helps too.
Can use a Q-tip too. That's the same way. Remember, I start placing it like this, right? I try to get the glue in there first, right where the lashes start growing naturally. They're so long that you can kind of use them as a handle to fix the eyelash. I'm gonna double check that I didn't glue her eyes shut, because then they'll really cry, and then really everything you did will be over. All right, close your glue. Sometimes I don't close my glue, and then I find glue all over my stuff. I'm like, what happened? When it comes to mascara, I try to aim for the mascaras that have the really thick brushes. This one that I'm using is They're Real by Benefit. You don't have to get this mascara. This mascara I got for Christmas. It was like $20-something. Don't spend $20 on mascara, please, okay? Just get a mascara, right, that has a really thick brush and it has a lot of product on the brush. Don't be trying to use like 2-year-old mascara that barely has any product on it, because what's going to happen is when you try to run that through your eyelash, it's going to be so dry that it's probably going to pull off the eyelash, and then you got to do eyelashes again, which nobody wants to do that. When you're applying eyelash or your mascara to your eyelashes, have the girls look down, yeah? Look down and then start brushing through the eyelashes as they look down. Careful, moms, as you're applying this, right? Or girls, right? You don't want to keep stretching it all the way up here and then get mascara up here, right? I'll show you. It's really easy to do, right? On accident. Oh, I didn't do it. But you can get mascara up here, yeah? With these eyelashes, you want to put a lot of mascara. These eyelashes, you want to put a lot of mascara. Then repeat the process on the other side. Make sure your eyelashes are dry before you do this step, because I have made the mistake many times where I think my eyelashes are dry, and then they're not, and then I just pull them off. So if you want to do another step at this point, like maybe start your eyebrows, or do your highlighter, just to allow it, give it some time to dry. Okay, go ahead and do that on the lower lash line. Have them look up, and very lightly, again, that tapping, right? Very small. Don't try to run the whole thing. Very, very light hand, yeah? And just gently tap. Beautiful. Okay, last but not least, right? The lipstick routine. Start with a chapstick, okay, before you put your lip liner on.
Woohoo, I already did that before you got here.
Oh, perfect. She's already got chapstick on, great. My favorite chapstick is the Burt's Bees Vitamin E and Peppermint. Some of the Burt's Bees that I put on actually dry out my lips. Ooh, this one, she's got the medicated one, okay? See that?
Your girl got really bad chapped lips sometimes.
There you go, yeah. So try to aim for those two chapsticks, or if you use a chapstick that works, stick with that. The reason I like these chapsticks is because some chapsticks that are out there are really slimy, like Blistex.
Carmex.
Yeah, the really, really shiny, slimy ones. Don't wear those. Your lipstick will move around, okay? We are doing a combination, right? We were aiming for like a reddish pink color, okay? Because I feel like that's flattering on all skin types. So I'm starting off with a darker red lip liner. This is the Kylie Jenner Bougie lip liner. You don't have to get Kylie Jenner lip liner. This was a, what's it called? A binge buy. I was like, ooh, Kylie Jenner makeup. And then I spent, you know, a lot of money on it. So you don't need to spend a lot of money. Just get a nice dark red lip liner, okay? This is what the lip liner color looks like here. all right? And you'll find that if they have chapstick on, the lip liner glides on so much easier versus trying to put lip liner on some dry, chapped lips and you gotta like pull and tug at the skin. And then it's like, what is happening? Fill that bad boy in. Now, I don't really like to go into the top and like repeat the whole process, so I just tell them stamp your lips. Yay, I already have an outline for the top. Yeah. Then you can go ahead and go in, you know, do some, you know, line your lips however you want them to look. I know some girls like to overline a little bit. If you want to do that, go ahead. Just make sure it's a clean line, yeah. This lipstick, this is the LA Girl Matte Flat Velvet Lipstick in Gossip. You're gonna take this, yeah, and you're going to dab. Again, moms, do not go in and try to swipe your life away, all right? Just,
Sorry.
just dab it. I like to, it comes with like this, it comes in a really nice shape, and you can use this bottom, right, this bottom edge here to follow along the shape of the lip. So I'll line it up and then I pat. Line it up and pat. This is why I didn't, as I was picking the lipsticks, I'm gonna go ahead when we edit the video, I'll put in like a more expensive version. This lipstick is $4 and it's great. Yeah, my lips don't ever feel chapped with it on. And that was without chapstick, so that means it's really good. There's another one, like I said, I'll put it in the description. It's MAC, it's 18 for those who want to, you know, spend a lot of money on their lipstick. But yeah, this is $4, it does the job. If you find that this color is not flattering on your skin, right, or it doesn't really show up in a pinkish red, play around with lipsticks, yeah? Play around with them. Keep all your receipts from the lipsticks that you buy, because at Ulta you can return them. Yeah, you can just return and be like, hey, I didn't like this color, I look crazy. All right. They allow you to do that. So keep all your receipts when you're buying lipsticks and testing them out. Go to the store. I went to the one right here in Waterford, and they have a bunch of these in stock. So again, it's all up to the individual skin tone, and you know, what looks most pinkish red on your skin type, yeah? I'm wearing the same lip color as her. It's kind of the same, right? I'm a little bit darker than she is, and I still think it works, right? It does the job. We're just trying to look good. We're trying to look uniform. All right, and that's it, yeah?
Setting spray, because they sweat.
Yes, setting spray. There's the Morphe setting spray. I think that's a little bit more on the expensive side. They have the small travel-sized all-nighter Urban Decay setting spray. I think that's $12. So you can use some of that, or any other setting spray that you know of that works for you. Use that, yeah. This makeup look is going to be a lot of you guys experimenting with what colors work best for you, what colors.
Practice.
Yes, practice. But yeah, play around with it. A lot of it's going to be up to you. This is a very natural-ish, it's like a natural stage glam kind of thing. But yeah. Okay, one more thing that I forgot to mention was makeup wipes. Okay, number one, please don't fall asleep in your makeup. I know you're tired after awards. Take off your makeup, okay, because it's gonna give you pimples the next day.
Especially if you have the next day that you're competing too, like you don't want to be...
Right, your face is gonna be red, there's gonna be bumps, you're gonna have to use more product to cover all those, you know, imperfections. Now you don't need to go out and get the blue, everybody uses these, so the blue Neutrogena makeup wipes, and they're like...
I got an allergic reaction from those. I have eczema. I have sensitive skin. So those, I woke up the next morning, my eyes were like swollen shut. I do not use those.
Okay, so there you go. And they're like $8, okay? Yeah. Don't spend $8 to try to take off your makeup, okay? There's a Big Lots right by our studio, by the Wendy's, on Alafaya and East Colonial. These makeup wipes are $1, okay? And they are so filled up with moisture that when I go, right, so after I take off my eyelashes, when I go to wipe, they're so wet that they don't pull out my lashes, right? They just literally take the makeup off. So I can show you here. Go ahead and take off the lashes gently, right?
And back to a boy.
Back to looking like a boy.
Back to looking like a boy.
Okay, when you take off your makeup right here, I'll do it as well. Take off my eyelashes. When you're taking off your makeup, wrap your finger like this. Come here and swipe, right? Do that nice swiping motion. Boop, boop. And they're so, so soft. You can see that it's really, really taking off. For $1, look at how fast all of my eyeshadow is gone, right? Not to mention the eyelash glue, right? Boom. Yeah, and remember that white waterproof stuff that's really, really hard to come off? This, again, is so loaded up with moisture, right? That it comes off so quickly. And there's no,
Oh, this is very moisturized. Oh my
as
gosh.
you can see on the thing, there's no eyelash hairs. All of my eyelashes are still on my eyes, okay? And that was super quick. I can't tell you, it gets me so upset when I have to spend $10 to take off my makeup.
Like soap and water, bro.
I know, right? Come on, I ain't gonna
Don't
spend no dang $10 to take off my makeup.
I mean,
No,
a
thank
Chick-fil-A
you.
meal.
I don't.
Sorry.
A whole Chick-fil-A
A
meal.
whole Chick-fil-A meal. Like, are you absolutely
Oh
not?
my
Like,
God.
that's ridiculous for $1.
Yeah, for $1. Don't forget under your neck. Yeah, you'll get pimples under here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're so
Your
wet.
contour, your hairline.
Oh yeah, get that too.
That's what I forget. And then I'll wake up with like a brown triangle over here. I'm like, what? Is that where she comes
Some
from?
dirt on your face.
Right. I'm like, what?
All right, all done. Yes, now you can go to bed. Don't stay up on your phone when you have a dance early in the morning. Good luck. Yeah, just remember,
Practice.
practice, practice, practice. Find the colors that look best on you, right? My darker girls, that's what I forgot to mention. My darker girls, sometimes it's really hard to get a brown that shows up, like a dark brown that shows up. At that point, I would just mix in whatever darkest brown you can find and dab a little bit of black on there. A little bit of black, right? And then you can really see, right, the depth in the eye. And you're like, oh, okay. Good luck.